Today we're going to talk about a couple of stocks in the EV market. NIO, Tesla, Xpeng, and Li Auto all announced their Q4 deliveries for 2020, and all of these companies did much better than analysts were expecting. Some companies did better than others, and in yesterday's video, I talked about NIO and Li Auto. I told you guys how I invested $300,000 more into Li Auto because I thought there's a lot of opportunity there. All of these stocks, Xpeng, NIO, and Li Auto, were up at one point today about 10%. So in today's video, I'm first going to break down Xpeng, their delivery numbers, because those just came out this morning. They weren't as good as Li Auto or NIO's, but they still did much better than they did in Q3. After that, I'm going to talk about the EV market in general, where I see the most opportunities, the best place to put your money right now, whether that's Tesla, NIO, Xpeng, or Li Auto. And finally, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the companies in the EV market right now, what I'm specifically doing, and I invested more money into them earlier today, so I'll let you know what I did with that as well. For those of you who are new here, my name is Michael. I'm a 21-year-old investor, entrepreneur, and full-time college student. In the past 30 days, I've made over $175,000, one of the many investment accounts that I share with you guys in our private group on Patreon. If you'd like to know more about what stocks I'm buying and what stocks I'm selling in our $575,000 public investing account before I talk about them on YouTube, if you want exclusive content that I don't share on YouTube, and if you want pre-release access to my new show called The Stock Room, where I talk about stocks with my 80-year-old friend who's a millionaire, investor, and entrepreneur, well then make sure to join our group using the link down below. We have about 7 or 8 spots left right now. So anyways, yesterday's video, I went over NIO and Li Auto, where I see the companies moving forward and how I invested $300,000 into Li Auto. So if you haven't checked that out already, make sure to check that out. I'll include the link down below. But earlier today, Xpeng came out and they announced their total deliveries for December of 2020, as well as their Q4 deliveries for 2020. Li Auto and NIO already reported these earlier in the weekend, but now Xpeng came out and announced them. They reported a record monthly delivery of 5,700 total vehicles delivered in December 2020, which is a 326% increase year over year and a 35% increase month over month. So they're growing at a very good rate. They also reported record quarterly delivery numbers of 12,964 vehicles, which is a 303% increase year over year and a 51% increase from Q3 of 2020. And while these numbers may seem great, right now, Xpeng is currently valued at a higher market cap than a company like Li Auto. And Li Auto delivered more vehicles than Xpeng did. And we'll get more into that a little bit later, but that's just something you need to keep an eye out for, because while the companies do target different markets, they are slightly different vehicles and they are trying to do different things in the future. Right now, Xpeng is delivering less vehicles than Li Auto, but has a higher market cap. So that's just something important to keep in mind. The company delivered 12,964 total vehicles in Q4 of 2020. On top of this, the total deliveries for the entire 2020 year were also reported, and they did 27,041 units, which is a 112% increase year over year. Currently, they're selling a couple of different models, and for the P7, the deliveries for their model P7 in 2020 was 15,062 vehicles, and a total of 11,979 G3 models were delivered in 2020. And I expect these numbers to continue to increase into 2021 and 2022. So they're on the right track. We want to see this consistent quarter over quarter, month over month, year over year growth, and that is what they're delivering. So for those of you who don't know, a couple of things that set Xpeng apart from companies like Li Auto and NIO is that Xpeng is one of the leading Chinese smart electric vehicle companies that designs, develops, and manufactures smart electric vehicles. So Xpeng is focused specifically on targeting the middle-class consumers in China, which is different than NIO, which is more of an upper-class, middle to upper-class vehicle. NIO vehicles are much more expensive than Xpeng, so Xpeng is trying to target that middle class market. On top of this, one thing that separates Xpeng from its competitors is that it is really focused on autonomous driving. They developed their autonomous driving technology in-house and in-car intelligent operating system in-house as well. They're looking to really focus on this autonomous vehicle technology in the next couple of years, and they recently raised more money in a secondary stock offering to help advance this technology and focus on creating new model vehicles. Finally, the last thing with Xpeng before we get into the other companies is that Xpeng is already delivering vehicles into Europe, which I think is a huge advantage for them moving forward. They already delivered about 100 vehicles into Norway, which is just a test run. It's just a start, but they are getting into Europe before their competitors with NIO and Li Auto. So now I want to talk about the other couple of companies with Xpeng, Li Auto, NIO, and Tesla. I want to talk about all these in general, how I see the competition stacking up against one another. So NIO delivered the most out of the Chinese-based EV companies. They delivered 43,728 vehicles in 2020, and they also delivered 7,000 vehicles, a little over 7,000 vehicles in December. So they had the highest total for the year and the highest total for the month of December. Li Auto, on the other hand, they were the second highest in terms of total vehicles delivered in 2020 and in terms of the month of December 2020. In the year, they delivered 32,624 vehicles, and for the month of December, they delivered 6,126 vehicles. They're growing at a much faster rate than all of their competitors right now, yet I see this as a huge opportunity for Li Auto. I recently invested another $300,000 into them the other day when they were below $30 a share. I saw this as a huge opportunity because they've been consistently delivering more and more vehicles. Their growth rate was faster than NIO, faster than Xpeng, and currently Li Auto's market cap is less than Xpeng's, even though they're delivering more vehicles. So that is one of the huge reasons why I put more money into it. However, one thing to keep in mind with Li Auto is that they do make hybrids. They're not fully electric vehicles, so that is something to keep in mind moving forward. Also, they only have one model vehicle, which is the Li 1. The upsides to this is that their margins are much higher. They're able to make more money for every vehicle they sell because it's much easier for a company to just manufacture one vehicle. If you don't have to worry about different parts, different models, all they have to do is focus on producing their one model, which is the Li 1, versus their competitors like Xpeng and NIO, which have multiple models. And finally, with Tesla. Tesla also came out. They reported 499,550 vehicles delivered in 2020. Elon Musk had set a goal for the company of 500,000. He said that earlier in the year, and they were only 450 vehicles off from that number. So that was absolutely huge. They had a record-setting quarter with 180,570 vehicles delivered in Q4 of 2020. And while they were short of Elon Musk's goal of 500,000, they still beat many analysts' expectations, and that's why the stock has been up even more recently. They just crossed a $700 billion market cap. I think they still have a lot of room to grow. However, in my opinion right now, Tesla is already a massive company. They're going to continue to grow, but I think there's better opportunities in the EV space with these Chinese EV companies right now, especially with the Chinese government being a major factor. I think that Tesla being a $700 billion market cap company, it's probably better off to invest your money into NIO, Xpeng, or Li Auto right now. Tesla's still a great investment. I just don't see as much upside. There's no way Tesla can 10x from where it is right now. They can't be a $7 trillion company. However, a company like Xpeng or Li Auto, they could, or even NIO, they all could 10x. If NIO 10x, well, then the market cap would be about the same as Tesla's. If Li Auto 10x, well, then it would have about a $250 billion market cap. So while all these numbers are massive, it's just, in my opinion, I think Tesla has less room to grow just because they're almost a $1 trillion company right now. So anyways, with me, what I'm doing, my thoughts on all of this. I recently put more money into Li Auto. I already have money invested into all four of these companies, Tesla, NIO, Xpeng, and Li Auto. But I thought that Li Auto has a little more upside, at least in the short term, because of how many vehicles they're delivering. And I think they're really overlooked by a lot of investors. Many investors are focused on NIO and Xpeng in the Chinese EV market. And I don't think there's as much attention on Li Auto, yet they are delivering more vehicles than Xpeng. On top of this, moving into this weekend, we have NIO Day. NIO Day is going to be huge moving forward. I think with NIO Day, as long as NIO delivers on what they say they're going to come out with, so that is going to be a new sedan, a longer-lasting battery, upgrades to their autonomous driving technology, and a couple more upgrades. Well, as long as they deliver on that, I think we'll see the stock price continue to rally upwards until NIO Day. On NEO Day, if they come out with a surprise or something else, I think then we'll definitely see the stock price skyrocket after NEO Day as well. But as of right now, I still think all these companies are going to have a great week this week. I think they're going to have a great year in 2021. And I don't think you can go wrong really investing in any one of the 3 Chinese electric vehicle companies. My opinion, I'd say invest in all 3. But if you want to pick one, go ahead. You can't go wrong with any of these companies. I recently put in $300,000 into Li Auto, but you can't go wrong with any of these right now because Chinese demand for EVs is going to keep increasing, and all of these companies are the leading players. They're going to have to continue to make more vehicles. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.